channel. My name is Veroosh, and this is your yearly reading, which is almost done in April. Hey girl, hey. It's actually first day of spring, so it's the astrological new year, if we want to stretch it. I'm going to do a full reading for you guys right now, and then in the extended, I'm going to put that for members only and later play it for everybody. So you'll see that soon, I hope. We'll see. And I hope you guys are having an okay year. I know it's a big one right now. Now we know what the big surprise is, and it's, you know, okay. Thanks 2020. I was really looking forward to you because of 2019, and here you come with your practical joke. What is it? Crappery. Does anybody understand my word crappery? I don't know. I made it up to kind of diffuse the F-bomb, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so Virgos, let's take a look at 2020. You guys like and comment. Comment like an army. Comment like you mean it. Okay, let's see the first message. We have the Page of Cups. So new relationship. Everybody's saying this, Virgos. I don't see it in my life, but new relationship. Page... Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but definitely something new and fresh in terms of relationships. This card's kind of the important one because it says maybe in some way you grow like a new heart. You grow like a new way of feeling about things. Sometimes, Virgos, we get caught up in how we feel about things, and because we have all these reasons or systems around which we feel, our feelings can get old and kind of worn out. And so this is a year in which you will have new feelings, a fresh start, new beginnings, you know, new relationships. Don't spoil them. That's important. It's kind of, you know, when a bride and her father walk down the aisle, it's like the step that they take together is very important, or they'll be out of sync. So just remember that you're taking a step forward, possibly down the aisle, and it's important that it's in alignment or it's going to throw you off. That's a big warning, hey? But a lot of new beginnings, fresh heart, new emotions about things, new space to have new emotions. So everything that you've already defined, that you know how you feel about, all of that stuff is sort of rusty and old. You've been there, done that. And it's kind of boring, and it's kept you sort of, that's the past, 2019. Now it's like new things, new emotions, just fresh. And I was wondering what that page meant, and now I understand. So now I know I've been waiting for so long to do this reading for you guys. Because this has been coming up in your readings, and I'm like, who's a Page of Cups? Well, it's you on a new emotional experience, and it's bright, it's happy, it's like exciting new things to feel. It's exciting to feel new things. And then you have the Strength card. Leos are very important to you, Virgo, this year. Leos provide insight and intuition. I think that they in some way also guide you, so they're your spirit guides. And Leos are providing you sort of nurturing and watching out for you also. And likewise, you watch out for them. It's a very reciprocal relationship. Very, very balanced relationship, right? Reciprocity, you know. It's not you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's more like I understand what you need and you understand what I need. And there's like a understanding, a compassion that's shared between yourself and other people that are specifically Leos, but not always. But yeah, very, very emotional or spirited people, bright people, especially fire signs. Okay, Virgo ladies are looking hot, H-O-T-T this year. Virgo ladies are going to be at their best. And that's understandable, giving the astrology. I'll do it another day. I've shown it to you in other videos. But you are getting, you know, the Piscean transits are pretty intense. And the transits in Capricorn in your 5th house are really strong as well. So, yeah, you have that kind of it factor, you know. And then in your 8th house, that is, what is that? Aries. Oh, there's a vulnerability to you also, in terms of if you're a woman, there's like a vulnerability, and vulnerability is actually attractive, but it's like a quaint vulnerability, you know? It's like a little, you're not a fortress, you're human, and that's approachable. And also great success around women. You will be connected this year with a lot of women who have a lot of means, like strong, powerful women. It's a year of women, I think, for you, Virgo. That doesn't mean you won't have relationships. You'll be very attractive to other people. So if you're a female and you're watching and you're like, no, Veroosh, I'm not going to go to one of those lesbian parties of yours. I'm just kidding. I'm not a lesbian. But, you know, like, I'm not coming with you to that. There, you will be very, very attractive to men. So don't, like, both men and women, but with women, it's, if you're heterosexual, it will be a very much you know, like, I'm putting my foot in my mouth, but it's funny. So with women, it will be like mutual appreciation and all that stuff. But with men will find you very attractive this year, Virgo. So if you're single, get ready to mingle. You have the Ten of Swords next. So unfortunately, those of you who are in a relationship, you may feel like you might feel like you've had it with certain things. And so, and also I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of things in which, how do you say, you just have to turn your back on a lot of things right now. And they're petty little things. You're not even drawn into it. I think that it's because you are strong in your own way, that there may be things that you turn a blind eye to. If you're within a relationship, you may feel really at an end with the way that things have been carrying on. Like, you can't really explain anymore what the logic is. But you're still continuing in this situation. I feel as though you'll grow distant from things that your your work environment, and you'll also grow distant from within a relationship if you're in one. There will be like a distance because there will be nothing else that you can explain in the situation to make reason of it. And there's just so much opportunity and blessing for you to enjoy, that the thing that is sort of dead in the water for you is kind of, you just step over it, you know, like put a handkerchief down and you just step over it. And then we have the Three of Wands. It's like friends coming to you from far away, not necessarily like physically coming to you, but maybe so. But there's going to be a very strong presence of people in your life coming towards you. And in some way, you're waiting for them to come to you. So it can be physically coming. I do think it's very, very present. So it's not some like phone call from across the world, you know. There's actual connection, constant progress. People come to help you in a moment of need. So if there is a situation in which you need help, I feel like at least 3 people just rushing in. 3 significant best friends, Virgo. We have 3 here, and these feel like 3 different people. 3 different people. A very youthful, impressionable one with a heart of gold, a very protective mother-like energy, and a very wealthy kind of Samantha Jones from Sex and the City, but maybe more academic or intellectual, and they come in some way to, I think that maybe in some way someone's helping you to put out the fires in your career or in your workplace, so you don't actually need to in any way confront anything. It's kind of, you step out of the line of fire with things. And likewise, if you're in a relationship, I think that there's other people backing you up, or maybe your status and your position is backing you up, and you have a very strong set of allies and coordinates around you. Then you have the Magician here, Virgo. Someone in your family is very powerful, and they're great, bringing you great blessings. I feel like very strong allies for you, Virgo, this year. Very strong, very the heart's in the right place, and you're bringing them in fast amounts, and there's someone in your family who's incredibly well connected, incredibly strong, and able to help a sister out, you know, help a situation out. So there is definitely this kind of someone's willing to make things happen for you, Virgo. And then you have the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius. I told you it's like the, what is it, Lilith Fair? Do you guys remember that from the 90s? It's like a women's music festival. It's like ladies are like, no, we're gonna take over here now because you boys are messing it up. So I have a feeling like there's going to be a strong, very intellectual female who helps you get through all the BS. She is different than the others, but still sort of a part of the clique, a part of the group of people. She's could be a lawyer, clarifying issues for you, a person with whom you speak with who's incredibly sharp and intelligent. I love this card so much. She's such a boss, right? Like she's just coming through, and her position here is to eradicate problems in your life. So that's how she comes through. And she can be multiple people, although I think I believe that these are 5 different people that are showing up here. The next message is the 6 of Swords. You feel a passion for moving on towards something. Something's calling your name, and you are moving towards something. There's a destiny. You guys seen my ring? I've been showing it a lot because I've been waiting for this ring for a year, and it's a little anchor, which is also the eightfold path. It's resonant throughout several South Asian religions, and so it's actually the symbol of dharma, or like the need to move forward towards something. I really like the concept because I really believe in living your dharma. So I feel like this is really in alignment with that. Like push forward wherever you need to go, whatever you need to do, you're doing. Push forward in your dharma, even if it's to face difficult time or difficult circumstances, you're heading straight into it. You know, you're being very brave, Virgo. I'm not foreseeing for you a harsh time, but you know, the things that you need to do, you're gonna face them head on. And then you have the 5 of Swords. Okay, you will you will have moments in which you meet people and they fail your expectations, or they don't meet like the proper rules of etiquette or personal boundaries with regard to you. So friends that are not really friends, harsh things that people say. It's not going to be harsh. That's too harsh a word. There's going to be circumstances in which you thought people could be better, but they're just not rising up to the challenge. And you'll experience that on a personal level, where you may not have in the immediate moment someone to reflect upon your observances with, but soon enough friends will come into your rescue. So there'll be just that moment when you realize that someone can't be what they have promised to be, or they are just not who you thought they were. But it has a lot to do with ability. Like they just can't do it, and it's a very sad thing for you to accept. But you'll have a moment of this by yourself, just a quick time, and then very quickly there will be more people coming in to lift you out of a situation. So you're sort of seeing something from the past and getting closure for it, so that you can now move forward in a much more abundant direction. Someone's just unable, right? Oh man, 2 of Cups in this position. Okay, so here we go. So I was like kind of low-key sad here for you, because I'm like, this is really a position of relationships, and I'm like, Virgo, you know, but I have a feeling that there's a very profound love that's coming for you that's going to shift your life this year. And I feel like this is romantic. I feel like it's a very, before you know it, you turn around and you'll be in a romantic love. Trust me, there's a love there for you that's very just sweet and genuine, and we saw this come through here. So this is a person, and it's your state, which is a new relationship, new love. 5 of Wands here. Okay, So it's kind of, you have to confront a family member regarding some, how do you say, conflict of interest. Something that's old that hasn't been resolved will be worked out. And likewise, you will be dealing with a juxtaposition between a lot of abundance, which is the majority here, and a few circumstances that are low vibration. To me, it seems like a husband who's low vibration in a life that's abundant, or a boyfriend who's low vibration, or somebody who is low vibration to the level that, like a vortex, you know, Abraham, there's a vortex, and, you know, whatever you throw in, it sort of grows. Well, you can have a negativity vortex, right? And so it's like a funnel that just sucks, like a black hole, sucks it all in, all the energy in. And so there's someone in your life who has that kind of low vibration, very kind of like a whirlpool sucking things down. And so I have a feeling that you don't have such an easy time letting them go. That's why I'm thinking it's your husband or something else, or wife. And there's an individual around you who's so low vibration, and the rest of your life is quite abundant, Virgo, but yet you don't let them go. That's why I think it's someone who's close to you, like a family member, someone who is a sure thing, like you would never think to let that person go. And I think it's not about letting them go, it's about sort of moving out of the way of things and finding other solutions for dealing with it. And so here, I think that's the juxtaposition between, you know, one thing, when you work in customer service, I always tell this to cashiers when I think they're like about to freak out if I go through the till. One of the harshest jobs you can do is customer service in a store or something like that, grocery store. Be nice to cashiers in grocery stores, all those big supermarkets. The reason for this is that one person treats them nice, and then the other person treats them very poorly. One person is kind, says they're awesome. The next person tells them that they are a piece of crap and that they stole their money, whatever, starts yelling at them. And it's not the fact that that person is just being horrible. That's bad in and of itself. But it's the movement between the two that is really hard on the nervous system. That's why many cashiers or social workers, they get very burnt out. Frontline workers get very burnt out at an early age, and I believe that it has to do with this jarring energy. And so it's a similar sort of thing here, Virgo, in which you have a lot of abundance and you keep on walking in safely into an environment, and it keeps on being like whirlpool sucking you in. And so it's the solution, it doesn't seem like you're ready to let it go, or maybe you can't let it go, or maybe there's like a higher thing. Just because, I mean, how do you say this? Do you give up on family members because they have mental illness? You know, do you, like, there's certain situations in which you just don't throw people out, right? And so, or maybe somebody's given up on something and you just want them to get it and you're being patient and waiting. So whatever your reason for this is, I don't think it's changing, but what I do think is changing is that after a few times of these disappointments, I think that you'll figure out how to sidestep it and how to position yourself better so it doesn't create this environment. Because what's going on is you're walking through life and your guard is down, you're feeling good, and then someone sort of like just shoots an arrow right through your back, you know, and you're like, oh, because with their negativity, and that's the kind of energy that's so hard to process. That's this. So it's about figuring out how you stand with this person, how to exist here and enjoy life and have your boundaries down, but also know how to transition into environments with people that have low energy, with whom you have to kind of be a little bit more guarded or careful. Interesting stuff. Here is the next message. We have the Empress here. Okay, so continue. Yeah, female energy so strong. This is Venus. Abundant, carrying forward. There's a little bit of mystery around women. Some of the women you'll meet this year are going to be somewhat mysterious. They will have they will be sort of challenging you on what women are, and you'll open yourself up to strange women, like women who, that sounds funny, open yourself up to strange women who you don't normally know, There may be a lot of abundance for you in that direction, but that abundance from the female energy is just so strong for you now. And then you have the Two of Wands. Okay, so you're going to have a change in perspective. That's what I was describing here. I'm not going to explain it again. You're looking straight over at these things. And so you'll learn to position yourself. What I'm thinking is early on, a few times the negativity really sucks you dry. But then after a while, you start being coped to deal with it. You know, it's like, for example, what's a good example of this? Like, would you give up on a family member who is stuck in the hospital? Who's going to be in the hospital? I'm not saying they will be, but it's an example. But it's like, you know, people are so quick to get rid of people in their life that there are many situations, chronic illnesses and other kinds of circumstances in which, and people have to learn lessons too. Sometimes you have to let someone trod along at rock bottom before they figure it out. And you throwing your 2 cents in is not necessarily helpful. So I feel like it's a situation that like you just can't really intervene on, but you don't want to mess with it or leave it behind. But also at the same time, it's just right there. And you need to figure out a strategy to heal your heart. A little love really helps. I think this is like you see someone and you get goofy about them. I think so. You're going to have this goofy kind of attraction with someone, a relationship. Ace of Cups. Look at this. That makes me happy. Okay. So, yeah, very, very spontaneous love, romance, very, very sweet. And like excited to be with someone again. An exciting relationship. And it is romantic. Very, very exciting. Kind of, it's nice to have met somebody you never thought this person, I think it's the kind of person that you never would expect existed. So it's very romantic. And then we have the Fool. So that's actually the mistake, right? In this position, it's kind of saying like, that's what I was already, sorry if I'm zooming through this, but you know, I already explained it before. And so basically the fallacy is like, this is, and you know this already, like this is not someone you would give up. You know, this is not someone you would give up on. It's just more about, and so here it's saying again, it's reinforcing the idea that it's not about you starting a new chapter in your life, Virgo. It's about figuring out what to do with the chapter you have. Okay, and then you have the Seven of Cups. Okay, and so illusions are gone, and that's thanks to her. Somebody is very, very much helping you see with clarity and in safety. She's watching over you. Her secondary signs are water signs, and she has Leo on top of her and Venus below her. So she's coming in with only positive, and she's quite powerful. She's a magician as well. So just a very, and she knows the way through the problem, you know? She knows she's going to be your kind of confidant, someone to talk to. Very, very interesting woman. And then you have the Eight of Swords. Finding a solution through, there's been problems you've been avoiding, Virgo. And she and all these circumstances are helping you cope and deal and face them. Face them head on, you know. It's like things holding you back in life, things that you've never reconciled. You're now facing them head on. It really feels like, yeah, full on, like, how do you say, like maybe you wanted to go to grad school, but you didn't have the means, or like you didn't know how, or something was missing in something's missing in the formula, and you were just kept on living life without doing it. I think that this year you're going to do the things that you're going to face the things that are stopping you. There's a solution in all this. And look, she has a sword to cut all the chains around you. So she has the means to, you know, free you. She has the means to emancipate you. And here is the next message. We have the King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So on top of this, you have a romantic, this is your secret admirer, Virgo. Mr. Scorpio's back. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Romantic feelings. Someone feels a certain way. Maybe this is the surprise, but I have a feeling that this feels older, this feels younger. Virgo, hey. Right? So yeah, a younger man or a younger lady, whatever floats your boat, you know. And so there is, and this could be a woman as well, depending on your orientation. It's not like it's someone who is a, how do you say, a possibility, like someone that you would consider. Let me think about this. I think that he's inspired by your flexibility of mind. He sees how you change your perspective on things, and I think that it's sort of inspiring to him. And I think he values the way with which you see things. And I think that for him, he's hooked. It's one of those things, like when someone sees something about how you process things, like when you see how someone processes things, it can be very, very like, I will never find a person like this again, a person who thinks like that again, a person who, it's a feeling of like, I can't give this person up. It's an obsession. That's why it feels like a Scorpio maybe, but because Scorpios can be very fixated on their fixed sign, fixated on qualities in people, but this is in the Piscean kind of position. So I don't know if they're a Pisces, a Cancer, it can be any sign, but the person has very deep feelings and they're not going to be easy to shake. And this person's going to be your ally. They're not going to push you into a relationship you don't want to be in, but they are going to stick around and kind of idolize you in some way. Idolize an aspect of your character or something that you're doing with regard to your own life. It's going to be very, very profound for them to have found somebody who's doing this. And then you have the 10 of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. I wonder which one's going to be. To me, this feels like a very genuine, heartfelt love with both parts fully engaged in a situation. This to me feels like someone's your fan, someone's in adoration of you. And then we have Sun and Scorpio. There's the answer right there. So you have, or maybe this is someone from the past, because this is the 6 of Cups, soulmate energy, a decision about love. You're going to have big decision about love. Look at this whole, but it's like not the new thing. It's saying that don't tempt, don't change things up. Hold on through your circumstances. Look what's on the bottom, the Emperor. This is a big year for you in love. And I mean, I told you guys that many times already, but I'll say it again. So it seems like this is a very abundant year, Virgo. You know, good friends can really lead the way to love. I don't believe, good friends can lead the way to love. They can really pave the way towards loving connections. I always believe that too many female friends makes a girl single, if that makes sense. Because either they're protecting you or they're stealing your man. So if they're good friends, they're protecting you and they'll make you single. And if they're bad friends and they're stealing your man, you have a problem. But I have a feeling that there's a very supportive energy, and I don't think it's getting in the way. So I feel like your whole environment is preparing you for this. And yes, it's sad that there's someone who's just refusing. Somebody's dug in their heels. But I have a feeling that the person who's inflexible, or the situation, it could be a situation that's inflexible, like a group of people at work that are always kind of like chumps. I see you elevated looking down at it. So it's not like you're only impacted as much as you let it to be, and there will be a couple moments in which your mood is brought down by their inflexibility or their life choices or whatever they're doing, but you're supported and you're elevated and you're sort of nurturing, you're carrying them along as well in some way, but not like a codependent way, and more like you're waiting it out for and hoping that things will, transform. And I have a feeling that this person needs to like wake up out of their bad dream, out of their nightmare. That's what it feels like. Somebody's caught in a weird dream, a nightmare, a bunch of mixed up circumstances. And I've been in a situation while I had the channel in which I had circumstances around me that were beyond my control. And frankly, when you're in this position, it's super hard to get, how do you say this? When you're in this position, it's super hard and it feels really shitty to not be able to be outside of the situation. Like in my example, for me, I was really sad that I couldn't be outside of this situation for you guys, you know, that it was constantly, and I had no control over it. It was like 3 years, frankly. And so what I'm saying is, like, on the flip side, I don't think I'm there anymore. And on the flip side, someone around you is in that space. And it's really, how do you say this? It's like, people who are in this space, they need the time, and sometimes it's not a formula. Sometimes it's not like a specific timeline. Sometimes it's not a week. Sometimes it's not a month. And, you know, they shouldn't, the last thing they need is to be thrown into the gutter, right? And that's what our society does. And frankly, I think that's why we're having the problems we're having in a big part also, is that we discard people that are just struggling, and before we know it, we all discard each other, and then everybody's kind of lonely and sad. So, you know, it really isn't about discarding that person around you. It's really about recognizing that their vibration is not doing you well, and focusing on the good things in your life while still kind of in some way maintaining a connection or waiting for them to have a turnaround. So it's a loving connection, and you have a ton of people supporting you. That was intense. Let's do the extended for members only. I'll put it in the click through here, and I'll publish it for everybody else soon. I hope you guys enjoyed. What I did with Scorpios is, maybe you guys, if you're so inclined, write a description for what you saw here while you're waiting for the Scorpio reading, and put it in the comments down below. And then I can copy and paste the best one or parts of them and make like a whole description for everybody to read. And then I can put your name in the description. It'll be fun. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy 2020. Sorry it came late, but you know, it's here. So welcome and thank you. Bye.